So last time, active, I did active items, which were basically they would like give more active gameplay variation, so it all doesn't rest on core platforming. So there were, I think, four, or I guess five types: an initial test item, a bomb that kills things nearby, a laser that shoots a projectile that kills things that's on a line, one that resets your jump counter. You can do like a quadruple jump basically, and one that stops enemies in place. Um, so yeah, I think I have on my like meta milestone thing is up here. I have a 2 to 4 active items, so I think that's probably all I'll do for this like first band of tasks toward this like pre-alpha, early alpha milestone. I actually bump this to the side along with that as well. All right, so I can sort of go against these. Where so I do want to be on iOS and a few other places like Win32 and UWP that I just haven't tested yet. So gotta test those, make sure there are no nasty surprises waiting there. There are still a lot of problems associated with reloading the game. I don't think reload can actually work. I think it either immediately crashes or it'll shortly crash after, um, like once you start playing. Uh, but optimization, this might even be done. Um, yeah, I'm tempted to flip these to green because that's actually one of the main things I worked on offline in the past week. Um, I went through using the Unity I can actually just bring it up. Analysis profiler here. And hopefully it's not like got bad results waiting for me now after I made some non-optimization changes in the meantime. But basically what you can do, so like here I'll start up my game. And yeah, like I start the actual game there, and then I can hit record, and let me just jump around and like spawn stuff, play the game, whatever. When I see some enemies pop up, I'll time stop them. See if that, but like I'll hop back over once I can do that. Won't spawn for so long. There's a guy. All right, we'll do that, and we'll jump around a little bit more, and then we'll go pause the game. See here, we got profile results. Um, so I have some bad player loop. Why? Huh? Maybe just because streaming as well. I don't know. I guess I got new stuff to look at. What is going on? Dang. What did kind of happen? I got again, it's possibly because I'm putting my thing into pretty significant stress running OBS as well. But I did have like the core render loop down to something like or not the render loop, but the gameplay loop down to like millisecond. Actually, I'm gonna take a detour. Like so far off from what I was seeing. Let me switch on D profile. I guess what I was seeing before was there was a lot of like garbage collection associated with creating temporary points to transform the spline as things were appended to the spline. Um, and so I've been talking about doing like preloading for a little bit, uh, where basically all the decisions are pre-made. So let me go. I guess I can stop recording. I got enough data to look at probably. So yeah, what that basically does is here in platform manager, or not platform manager, that's fake. Platform manager is platform parent. Yeah, so see all these, it has all the platforms already determined beyond just what is already spawned, so I can like turn them all on. See, they're all up here, right? It's already pre-made those decisions. Um, yeah, let's take a look at why are my profile results so far? I kind of want to like stop streaming and then like see if I have a feeling that it's just using like markers and stuff. Not gonna know that a large amount of CPU is going to streaming. Gonna mess it up. I think you typically like if you're really serious about doing profiling, um, you even use like a separate computer. You don't want the cost of the. I don't know. I'm gonna mark this as a thing potentially. Review. Um, strange looking profiler results. Regression or only when streaming. Check next time you're not streaming. Hello again. Um, so yeah, I mean, those profiler results don't show it, but I did a lot of optimization work, basically preloading. Offline, I was seeing like 2 milliseconds of my player loop, like the average frame, and now I'm seeing like, again, I'm not sure if streaming is messing that up. I think it might be. So what else? Pop this over there, there. So yeah, significant progress on both of these things. Probably like one or two more things to look at, but pretty close to marking the screen. Meadow. I plan to like have a few other enemies popping around in here and just be more. That's kind of this note about more deliberate level setup is to sort of associate the actual like planned meadow stuff with what's going on. There's Rad and Burrow upgrades. I'm gonna have like a tier of better items above the base items that like do more interesting things, and one of the ways to get them will be they'll drop off and be like somewhat related to their specific bosses. So I might do that today, if there's time. But what I want to mainly do is set up targeted test levels, just to like save me time in the long run. 3 to 4 active items, did that last week. It's pretty close to done. I mean, that's why it's on yellow. Probably needs to clean up their effects, and if some of them have like weird edge case interactions and stuff, need to be fixed. Controller combo, I'm still planning on adding a dash and a parry, so those are still missing, but everything else is in. There's like a lot of other stuff in, right? Just some visual progress and sound. Still using sounds from like back when I did this as a game jam in like 2021 or something. So I need to go through and just like make a list of all the sounds I need, so I can start working through that. And I'm also planning on integrating Wise for just like better capabilities in playing music. So I have a music I work with, Austin. Uh, anyway, so yeah, let's go set up targeted test levels. hopefully save time. This also might fix some of the problems associated with reload, like the reason the game crashes after reload. I think what that ultimately is that like just some assumptions are being made in scripts that like something will only happen once, or something happens when X event fires, which doesn't necessarily fire on reload, something like that. So by sort of making new levels where I try and port all the stuff over and seeing what breaks, hopefully that helps reveal those assumptions. Um, and clean preemptively sort of like clean up the problems in advance of doing that reload and quit tech. Anyway, so yeah, let's I want to start with just basically making a base level, bringing in the player, the prefab camera, all that stuff, and seeing what happens, seeing what breaks. I'm gonna make like an empty level and like a script that can override properties of the level that our other levels will be able to like plug in. So I can just like inherit from some base class and say like, hey, override these 10 lines of things because that's how I want this test level to work. And then just let everything else like take over. So let's see. It's already hopping around. I should I guess I can talk somewhat about effects. I think this has more effects than it previously did. I switched from give the player an outline there and made this guy like black and white. I think it looks better than Rainbow Man, but it's probably still not final. Probably still more things to do. I think I might give him like an Ura, and then that Ura can hook into like a combo system where it gets like um sword or it gets like more animated, more aggressive as you what's the word? Oh, get more combo, like fill up this meter. And then also it can turn rainbow like this does. When you get combo, you can probably I don't know if I'll even keep this particle or this trail thing. It might just if I pass the movement vector into the like Ura combo effect, it could like generate its own trail right in the effect. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, mostly offline facing stuff. Um, I guess kind of interesting. One of the things profiling showed was that even though the code wasn't doing anything particularly inefficient for the background sprites, it was just like some really basic movement code to give them that slight wander. Um, just the fact of there being so many background sprites and fact of like parallax making it such that it's a little bit more annoying to determine whether or not they're on the screen to call them. Uh, that's a lot like just, vector 2 addition, determining my position relative to the camera and stuff like that across like 500 background sprites. It's causing a lot of problems, or at least like eating up a lot of frame budget. Yeah, I got distracted there. So yeah, we're gonna make a new level. We're gonna drop the prefabs in and see what happens. So gonna go to assets, resources, scenes, data, scene. This is gonna, I guess, just a base test level. I'll start with something like basically nothing in it, just player and nothing spawn. And then also in the future, I can duplicate this and make small modifications for my other test levels. Okay, so we got the plain old Unity screen. Let's drop in player. Let's drop in camera. Eat the other camera. Have any throw in something for him to stand on, like a platform. At some weird position that shouldn't be. Everything go to 0. Okay. Let's bump this down and be enabled. Guess it needs to be on a canvas. Sure, what's the problem? Oh, because it's based on a shader, that's why. To get like its shader properties in Grow. See the footprint thing, a little understated elsewhere. Anyway. So we should change this material so we can. It's right, unlit. This right default is fine. And we can make it like super wide as well. Five. Oh, it's a couple things. The player has like a clamped movement thing. Um that prevents it from like exiting the start area in the main level, in like the first level. But think of anything, the first level should add that, or like start screen stuff should add that. That shouldn't be on the base player all the time. Also, I'm looking to my spider like. No. Half height is fine. Okay, okay, so let's go back, hop back to the main level. And let's apply all these spawn. This doesn't seem like it should be. Get rid of this. Oh, I remember. I when I was doing the spline stuff, I was just having the player like poop out circles behind them. Um, so that I could like just look at a handful of positions to see what the spline values are in practice. Yeah, but we don't, so we're not gonna apply that. This, we're gonna just, we have to go delete in the prefab. I don't think it'll let us delete here. This we would apply. Transform. Probably put like 0, 0, but keep the 1.15 scaling factor. Let's apply that. Then in the level, we rewrite it down to the starting position. What else are we cleaning up on the player prefab? Revert these things. That we have to fix in the player. Yeah, giving the player more money is fine, whatever. Active item manager should go to the main prefab. Player background to, I'm gonna get rid of this. This is still working. I didn't like how it looked, so I turned it. I'll just restart it. Okay, so now let's go into the prefab at AABB. Yeah. Save that. Back to our test level. And we should be able to move around freely and not be stuck by those walls. I'll bar our player down a little bit. So, and we run freely around here. Oh, we crashed, but that's kind of what we wanted to happen. Find these crashes. Okay. The active item manager expects to have some reference that it doesn't have, and I forgot to open Visual Studio. So, what does it say on line 59? Active item manager. Okay, it expects to have the UI. I think as a fair expectation, our test level should have the UI in it. This is a question. No. Why am I getting fancy about it? I would say if for some reason I don't want UI, I could. That would be the type of thing I turn off in the override script, and I would deal with all out there. So let's go to our. I'm pretty sure that's already a prefab. Probably under UI. That UI group switcher. Let's see. Does it appear? Fix that first compiler or crash, I guess. Oh, it's just a different crash now. You expect to have a world manager. Also a fair thing. Yeah, parts of it might be toggled off in override levels, but the base version of like a world manager there. And it's not a prefab yet. So let's see. Anything that shouldn't be in here? I don't think so. Okay. So let's save that into a prefab. Just be at root level, I think. This, maybe that. I don't know if I've gotten rid of it. All right, let's go back to our test level and see if we drop in the world manager, what has to change. Yeah, also just, I should periodically hop in and jump around just to make sure I'm not accidentally messing anything up. I got dude advertising for bots and that. So, bot guy. All right. Yeah, that looked fine. I didn't break anything that I noticed. Back to base test level and drop in the world manager. See. Okay, some things need to be set. I wonder, it seems like it's annoying. We can get rid of some of these. Maybe I can just like find object with tag. That's it like I guess it would be slower potentially. But I don't think I care in test levels. I guess I could do something like if it's not set, find object with tag player. And then, it's set in the test level, so the fraction of a second in load time I save or whatever I can have in the real game if I want it. But I wanna get rid of most of these like setty things. So I can just drop in the world manager and now it's gonna like start spawning the world. Anything that's not like an asset like these things that can persist. So go to the world. I'm gonna go switch back to a single view. I can resolve with this. Side to side. Oh, come on. Oh, god dang you. God dang you, visual. Alright, try again. There you go. Alright, so we are looking for like start or awake. Probably start, because the player has to exist. Yeah. So on start we say if m player equal to null, player equals like find object with tag. It's like scene get object with tag. Success. It's like typically a thing you don't want to do. Because I think it's slow. But load of a test level is the type of place where I'm not gonna know it's a tiny. And the ability to create levels more quickly, make like just get going immediately is well than that. Find game objects with tag player will be 0. Okay, that should get rid of the first crash. It might just subsequently hit a new crash. Okay, it's a lot of crashes. Where okay. So missing like the shop data looks like. And also I mistyped player. E. There. What else? What else? Probably enough. Try again. I guess this is spawning in the platform, or like it comes with the platform. I should move the player up on that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there's like some kind of spawn thing, probably on the world manager. Oh, I don't think it's that. I just turned that off. Oh wait, there's the spawn manager right there. I bet that has the problem. Yeah, let's. Guess not. What objects does this live on? Level manager start. Shop 340. Okay, so we're trying to spawn the shop items. Looks for it's like static. I guess this static class needs to live somewhere that it's not. I would, yeah, let me hop back to the main level, see if there's a like an unprefabbed object I'm missing. So, oh, I guess this GSM object I'm missing. Maybe that's part of it. I mean, it's probably part of it. I don't know if it's the specific thing I was seeing. Okay, that has like the UI and stuff, so that should fix UI associations, I think. Oh, I guess they still need to be shut. Okay. So spawn data management base is probably unable. This array is never made. So what is the calling function? S shop item spawn data makes that. I bet it's this script, but when is it? Start of shop item spawn manager. Where does the shop item spawn manager live? I guess it's just missing from. I thought I would have seen it in main. Now back to main. Not on invisible walls. Wait, it's right here. It's on World Manager. Oh, you know what? You know what? It's an ordering thing, I bet. Maybe. Let's see. Let's hop back. Now that we know it's on the world. I should really like move some break the world manager into some child objects. Oh, these are from last time. Break world manager into more child objects. Main parent object is way overloaded. But that parent should have the shop item spawn manager on it. So its start function should be called. And then my array shouldn't be null. Let's kind of also rename this test level base so that I can look for the prefix test and it'll sort itself nicely. Okay, we don't need this independent UI group switcher. Shop item spawn manager does exist. Oh, you know what it might be? It's broken elsewhere. Sometimes you get like null references because had like previously failed. Or how? Guess I could. Not sure of a good way to make. Seems like anything I would do here to make the UI always have the player's health. Um, like yeah, I don't know. I don't know a good way around these UI ones, except more like tagging and finding objects, I guess. But I'm worried that crashes in these might prevent other important things from happening. That leads to cascading crashes elsewhere, so I'll go through, fix them all. Okay, so yeah, here there's these 5 shop ones, but what about this one on 34 that's happening first? On player health on death. When were you supposed to have gotten the player health? You expect an association. Okay. I think I can do the same thing here. On start, what was the other one? World Manager? Grab that. It has to be on start because on awake the player might not exist yet. We can save our player is equal to this. And then player dot get component in children QHEA health. Or actually, don't I need this for later? Player health equal to that. Okay. That should fix that. I don't know if that causes the shop problem though. It does. But just in the spirit of getting rid of early crashes, that might cascading in unexpected ways. Okay, a new thing in GSM platform. Uh, created. On enable happens or start, I guess. All right, all right. Assist. Move our input to an awake function and leave our player stuff in the start function. Broke the initialization into 2 steps. I know it's not super glamorous, but this is the sort of the grind of it all. Gotta just find out where you made the mistakes. Just work through them one by one. All right. So I think at this point, pretty confident that our shop like is spawning at time at oh, it's awake. Well, it's spawning right away. It needs to be start. The shop like data list might not even exist yet. The like level manager is going to go spawn all the platforms, including the shops, and then the shop's going to go look for its list of items, and it's not going to find it yet. Okay. Um, gotta fix this platform. Uh, player here. Then I can get rid of this other one I had. All right. things. Seems potentially like my post-processing isn't happening, or it is happening, I guess, but it's not very bright. The post-processing camera where it should be glowy, but it's not. Oh, you know what? I guess we just need to move on to the next prefab. Yeah, we did the player, we did the game state manager and the world manager and stuff. We have to go look at, I bet there are some unique camera properties on the main camera that haven't been saved to the prefab. Some will want to keep some. Let's hop back to main. So let's look at overrides. Position, you can camera. These are all important. The culling mask changes has to do with like what's being rendered to a post process versus like the main stuff. And just being wider, that should just, it should be representative. So we're going to apply these. R specific. I don't think this will actually work. You can't really specific game object. I don't even see the difference here. Looks exactly the same to me. So I guess I'll leave it. Oh, it's disabled. Huh. Is it being enabled or is it not being used? Let's look at our main camera now. Or start the game, then pause it. Okay, yeah, no, it just starts. It is being enabled, but it doesn't start until start the game. Okay, okay, okay. What else? What else? Just keep looking through this overrides, I guess. Yeah, this is necessary to make post-processing work. I assume this is necessary. This like culling mask is relevant to like what layers get post-processing. This is needed. Remember that was a problem. Still, I'm not sure what happened here, but I'm gonna leave it if I guess. Oh, right. It's enabled by default. Yeah. Yeah, we want this because we're gonna go through like the common channels and stuff. All right. Main camera should be fixed such that we go back to our test level base and our like flare thing in the beginning should be glowy. Pop this up as well. All right, yeah, that's sufficiently glowy. I can't control the player. I couldn't left and right. I could only. Oh, I might have been stuck in the floor. That might have been what that was. But we have hitting enter did not work. Crashed the game. So let's figure out why. Oh, right. It needs input. I see. I see. It's like with all this stuff missing. You'll get the player, but Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I guess I can just give it. It's annoying if I'm gonna have to set this up. I gotta. This is the one where it's so old that I'm not confident making significant changes to it at this point. So I'm gonna add a note to UQGSM platform. It requires way too many specific references to specific objects. Many of these can be removed. All right, but let's give it all its things. Vine grow is one thing we're missing. Go make a prefab of the vine grower. Yeah, it's not one. Okay. So resources, scenes, main, and just as a sort of periodic thing, let's hop around, do like one jump up to the top, make sure everything's still okay. Yeah, why am I cannot move at all? I think I messed up the AABB thing somehow. No, I don't have it anymore. Huh. Well, the only thing I have no idea how I think I need to. I'm gonna try removing this raycast thing. I have a feeling it might be being used where it's not expected to be used. Yeah, that is what happened. See if I still need it. I think part of the point of it was to deal with like what's it called? One-way platform weirdness when I was still letting you jump onto the or like ledge grab the edges of one-way platforms. Now that I've removed it, I don't think it's necessary. Can't really tell on this thing. Tell on this. Like, is it a problem if I just run against this? I mean, you are kind of bouncing against the wall. It's not awesome. I don't know. I'm gonna remove it and add a note to consider re-adding it. Uh, Consider re-adding MCL raycast to the player to prevent wall bouncing. Not the end of the world, but be improved. Somehow broke when moved. Starting box AABB, review MCL assumptions. Something is fetching MCL 0. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna apply that to the player. Okay, so we fixed that. Oh, we also wanted to grab Vine. Oh, yeah. Let's do a few more things. Just make sure nothing else is unexpectedly broken. Oh, I should have bought the shiny boots first. Let's buy everything. I have like $1 million. All right. I'm like almost too fast to control. I gotta think if that's I mean, I guess I get used to it pretty quick, but it does feel weird at first. Also, seems like there might be some bad movement assumption somewhere in that uh getting more horizontal move speed seems to be sometimes like sapping my verticality. I wonder if maybe the force capping system, um, I wonder if the force capping system is interacting weirdly with a bunch of extra horizontal movement speed. Make a note of that. View force capping system um, against significant increased uh, horizontal speed. I either need to like, I think because I think I might be looking at the vector 2 of force, and then because the x component of my force is so much higher, there's less budget in sort of like applying force limits to like allow uh y like a significant amount of y movement. Uh, where my intention, I think the easy fix there is just only cap by y, but I don't want to cap now. I want to get base level up. Yeah, I had that problem where I couldn't move. It was because of that raycast clamper. Let's see if I can move now. Can. I hit enter and game crashes. It's saying the spline manager needs the player. I'm gonna go ahead and reject that. I'm gonna if the spline manager is a child of the world manager, so we're just gonna give him player when we tell it to initialize. Which I forget the name of the function. Spawn level spline. In addition to passing the level, you now also are going to pass the player, which I will just save. I think I can maybe get a lot of the references, get rid of a lot of the references like this, look to one central place, like maybe the world manager to own a reference to the player. I set the world manager or even just find it if I get a look and I see it's a negligible difference. And then everything else can just be expected to be passed the player. Passed by world manager in spawn levels 9. Okay, so that'll be an error now for wherever I'm calling that, and I'll let the compiler tell me where that is. There it is. Pass the player here. Not have the player? What? What? I was wrong. It's a child of the level manager. Doesn't care about the player. Does the spy manager have the world manager? Well, I just said it. Breaks my heart every time I have to set one of these. I guess if I'm duplicating this level, they will be preset, but still, I wanna move away from setting editor references as much as I can in ways that not harm perf times significantly. But it seems like setting it in editor is the best thing you can do because it's basically like presetting it. You pay all the costs now, being slightly annoyed and having to click through the Unity UI. I just undid all that. Um, what else? What else? Right now we would actually fix that. Where are you? Line manager. Oh, we got an error? All right, you have to undo this as well. All right, so hopefully the game does not crash when we hit enter. That's what we're hoping for. We haven't regressed anything else. I was in the middle of like saying, all right, it looks like we got it, but you can see it has stopped here because it has crashed. You're missing some object. Oh, the vine grower. I went to the main level and got distracted by something and did not grab the vine grower. All right. Assets, resources, scenes, main. Vine grower. We take a quick look. Yeah, there's nothing that's special. So we can just dump it into a prefab under vine. Then go back to our other levels. And just drop one in. Are there chats coming from somewhere else? No, I may just be talking to myself. I did want to see about streaming on YouTube as well, but Twitch doesn't let you. I mean, I don't think Twitch would actually find out or care. But I'd rather just, you know, think, that they tell you you're allowed to do, and take my ball and go home if I don't like what the rules are. All right, so start vine grow. It's on the GSM, right? All right, there we go. Oh, dang it. It waited until I had that exact amount of time to say that sentence before crashing. All right, well, what's the problem? Score text. What? Okay. This is. I'm gonna make a note to remove this. This is some like legacy stuff from when this was still a game jam, where the whole game was just like trying to stay on the platform. It was like trying to buck you off and make more and more spawns and stuff to try and knock you back and off the platform. And so the score is like how many waves of enemies, but like it's still in the game. Move all legacy stuff. Game Jam, Platform Manager, score text. But we will just fix it now. Where did it come from again? World Manager. Maybe I can just find tag everything. You know, if the N is like under 32. All right, I'm not gonna say anything this time till crashes. Eh? Crash is lying in wait. This looks weird. What's going on with that? This looks weird too. And the camera also isn't following me. Right, because we did not set the camera to target the player. Did it get enabled, however? Go ahead and pause. Camera. Tracking got enabled, but yeah, it doesn't have a target. Let's set that target. Be the player. And I actually know what that like clear thing was coming from. It's because here I can hop in and show it. This clear thing is coming from if I actually can hop in the game. We're using like letterboxing to get the more narrowed play field, right? And stick the UI on the sides. But because the primary camera is being oh, you still not following the player? Why? I gave you the player, didn't I? Yes. You locked? Yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Letterboxing means the camera just isn't rendering there, so you still need a background camera to clear the letterbox. So my solution to that, I think, we have that. We're gonna get it from the main level, but it's just gonna ride with the camera. It shouldn't need to be its own thing. Like the camera already has the post-processing, um, foreground and background cameras part of it. So and also have this camera. Background camera, clear outside viewport. So I'm just gonna copy that. And I'm gonna go open up this prefab, paste it, and it should probably go at the end to make sure it's any uh assumptions. And we can delete it from the main game now, right? It should be on the camera. Then let's test that that didn't mess it up in the main game. Looks fine. Cool. So that also means we don't have to do anything in theory because we're using our main camera prefab. Our test level should just already have that background camera. And it does. See, we don't have like weird clear issues 5, 6, 7. Do have one issue remaining in that the camera not track the player. Why might that be? I move it up, what happens? It's gonna snap back down? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh my god, I gave him the player prefab as a target. Why is that even allowed? So the player prefab is always at 0, 0, so that's why I was staying there. What the? Oh wait, did I? No. I think? I'm not sure. Let's see. That's the kind of errors you can avoid if you don't have to deal with Unity Editor. Okay, yeah, now it's chasing me. Yeah, it was looking at the prefab rather than the actual in-scene player. And that, I should get the jump a little bit more oomph. I want this like cross jump to be makeable in the average case. Okay. But yeah, we did it. We got a S level basically. We hunted down, we made prefabs as necessary and hunted down the assumptions. I'm gonna make it its own thing. It was basically the first part, but because it took a lot longer than I knew that was a possibility. So, hunt down bugs and fab assumptions using a new level. Okay, so now we're gonna add another layer on top, which is gonna have like a flag that like, hey, I'm a test level or something. Maybe do like some kind of inheritance class thing. Um, but the idea would be, okay, the game like initializes, and then it's gonna call this framework that um can do like turn things off, just like insert test adjustments. Maybe it'll register like a particular debug controller. Yeah, let's get into that. So I'm gonna go to assets, scripts, I guess core, and I would call this test level base. Um, and then we just like offer some virtual functions to use. Private, virtual void, reawake, post awake, restart, post start. And I think that's all we should need in theory. Then in like the level manager, or not the level manager, who is calling begin level? That's who sits in who's in charge? Most in charge class is the GSM. Okay, game state manager. That makes sense. Um, yeah. So this has like the world manager. This is telling the world manager and the level manager and stuff like that. Um, you know what? I think the solution here is uh, merge ideas to split world into child objects and to clean up GSM, move GSM to be the most parent object and organize the rest in a detailed hierarchy. Because then we don't have to have these Unity editor nonsense things. I can just say get component in children, world manager, if I know for sure that like all these other sub managers are going to be my child. But that's not how it is right now. So it's set in Unity. What was I doing in here? Oh, right. Base class. These need to be public. And I guess the base version of these should just print, right? S level be awake. Well, do I actually need all these? Let me hop back over to the game state manager. I'm trying to think of like the types of things I want to do. And I like, okay, let's say for the base example, what would I want to do? I want to turn off the thorns and I'll give the player 999 money. So maybe what I need instead of like this be just like one function. That's like has all the types of things you might care about messing with. And it's like say, all right, here's the stuff, mess with it as you please. And then when I get when you're done this, I'll have assumed that you set up the level as appropriate to be a test level. So be something like public virtual void initialize test level. And we would need the player for sure. And then like some of the top level managers, so like the world manager, the level manager. Maybe that's it. See if that gets us what we need. For our case, we just want to say world. World manager owns the thorns, does it? Where are the thorns? Yeah, you do own the thorns. Yeah, like enter time bubble, right? M in safe bubble. Yeah, okay. I feel like I should have a separate thing. Just because I might care about the interactions of these things. Like I might not want to override M in safe bubble in a test level. Like yes, you shouldn't advance the death box if you're in a test level, but also let's just offer like a M should advance death box and true by default. Oh, we can just set it. If you're in the safe bubble, or we shouldn't advance the death box. Just do swap here. And then test level base, we can say world dot advanced death box is false. Then in our GSM, we'd have, I guess on start, we'd have like an optional thing where it is get component, where it's like test level equals get component children. We'll assume it's on here. That's how we'll do it. Test level base. But you don't have to have a test level, so we'll check it first. It's just if one does exist, actually we don't even need to do that. We can just say syntax, right? This syntax? I know there's a question mark dot syntax. Test level dot, what did I name my function? It's something like initialize test level. Right, you need arguments. You need the player health dot transform dot parent is the player. You need the worlds. You need the level. I'm gonna bump you next line. I don't like lines. Parent dot game on. So if the test level exists, all the specific test level override function, which in our base case is going to pause the thorns indefinitely, but basically to write other test levels that mess with this, we just need to override this class and override this function. Let's see if this actually works though. Okay, all right. So looks like it is advancing. I don't. Oh, right. Well, I didn't add my component. I didn't add my component. So that actually was a good test, though. That was a good test because it proves that it doesn't crash if the test level is missing, which was my intention. So accidentally, good test. Let's add the new thing. It's called something like test level base. Yeah. All right. Doesn't look like it's moving. We can hop up a bit and wait around to see if that is the case. All the way down. Yeah, it has not gone up at all. We have like sort of proved the concept of like having a little injection function that we will override to do whatever junk we care about. So I think I can cross that off and move on to like item test level. So for the item test level, it also should be, it's like, I think it's a good step up in difficulty here because it's relatively simple. We're just going to spawn 2 shops, maybe 4 shops, like 2 by 2, right at the ground level so I can go right into the shop, buy whatever items I want. We'll also give the player 999 coins for infinite money. So make I guess if I'm gonna have a script for each test level, there should probably be a folder. I'm gonna make one test level, just working against the bloat and poor organization in real time instead of fixing it in a chunk every few weeks. All right, so test level, we had test level base. This is gonna be test level items. It's a problem. Trying to make sense of this compiler. I'm getting. Oh, did I? Oh, where are you seeing another test level base? Did I copy this by accident? That's possible. Yes. So instead of moving it to the folder, it like made a copy in the folder. Whatever. Kill me with this though. Now, no. Try to defend Unity, but making a file system error should not cost me 20 seconds of looking at loading bar. Although, again, to their defense, I'm pretty sure if I get all the reload fixes in, like that, I think it's over reliance on static classes in an unsafe way. But I think if I get those fixes in, then I can turn off domain reloading, and then my iteration speed would go way up, because it wouldn't have to do that every time. So it is kind of my fault, in that I'm doing some lazy initialization stuff that makes me rely on domain reloading. But it's not just lazy. I'm pretty sure part of the root cause behind the reload problems. Anyway, that's not what I'm doing right now. Make a new scene. Um, Scenes, test, and move this into test. Did it make a copy? No, good. All right, hit it. Call it test level D. No, test level items. That up. Okay. Now we go to our test level items script. I'm gonna go grab the function signature from this other place. Oh, it doesn't. It's because I moved. Reopen it. Okay, yeah, this is the function signature I want. Grab this overloading test level base. We can keep that, I think. I don't think we want the death box chasing us down. We also would want to go to world. I think we're gonna have to add the plumbing. I don't think this plumbing exists to like spawn an arbitrary shop. Oh, it's actually under the level. Okay. What is the best way to do that? I think I think rather than doing like the 2 levels of plumbing, I should just let you get the level, man. Or not the level manager, the platform spawner. Okay, and then on the platform spawner, I let you. Oh, it was level, right? Level dot get platform spawner. Wvar p spawn. And then the platforms. So let's make it platform spawn. Lazy with the bars. Then I can F12 to go look. Instead of consider special chunks, I should just have a helper here. Spawn shop. I should add a note. Only really intended to be externally called in special class debug scenarios. And then we just take like a base Y. And there's like, I guess B right as well. And then this line is all we need. Isn't there setup? Oh yeah, I see. Uh, I don't want to deal with this. This is flip back text to be readable after flipping position. But it doesn't affect the UI, so I don't really care. I mean, it's something I intend to fix long term when I make the shops like better integrated with everything. But like, yeah, this isn't a blocker at this exact moment. So all we have to do is this, basically. Spawn shop prefab at right and base Y. I should go the other way just to match the calling convention. Okay. Then over in test item level, I should be able to say pspawn spawn shop at right and the base Y load. Okay, spawn shop Y like 5 right at the ground. Okay, spawn shop Y, and we call it again, but with false, so that we get 2 shops, one on either side. And then the other test level thing we want to add is giving the player like infinite money. So that'd be something like player get component in children, HEA money. That weird component name is I originally had like a group of components that about health, and then I was also using them for money. But then that got into a weird thing where your money could die and then like it wouldn't go up anymore. Um, so I separated it out to its own thing. But it's still kind of benefited from the ecosystem of the other components that had that QHEA prefix initially meant for health. So I think I like retcon it to be like health value or something. But yeah, get that. So that series of functions now works originally designed to work on health, works on like any sort of general value you want to display and not notify and react to and shit like that. Anyway, what we're doing here is we want to say money. They're like add or something. Apply delta 99 or I guess 800 900. I think that'll give us 999. No event. I think if you are like manually doing it like this, you're not supposed to send an event. My recollection. Why is this green? What's your problem here? It's not overriding. That's fair. That's a good warning. Okay, so now we go back to the actual Unity level. We remove that test level base component and we instead add this test level items component. And the idea is that shop should spawn on either side of us close to the ground and we should have like 900 something. There's test level base, get out of here, add test level items. Not appear to happen. What broke? Test level items 14. Test level items 14. Did not find a platform spawner. This might be a... Oh no, it's on start. The other thing should exist. Am I not returning it? Oh, I guess this is also on start. Okay, I think this is another case where I need to break it into two. So we just get all our components on awake so that other people who might rely on them can get them. We don't actually do stuff with them and like start spawning levels and junk until start. And that should fix that bug. Okay, 5 is probably too high, but it looks like it worked in theory. I have $900. So let's just scooch those down and give me more money. We have 5, then we want 994. And this can go down to like 1. Don't think that reload. Okay. And that's like, fine. It's fine. Oh yeah, there's that reverse text I was talking about. But like I was saying, in the the UI, it's fine. So yeah. Oh yeah, let's do 2x2 tool. And wasn't there something else I was gonna do? Oh, right. I want the ability in this level to toggle between controls. So let's test this 2x2 shop grid first. But and we also are gonna add more to this where we can swap out our use item based on number keys. Crash? Oh no. Those are way too close together. I don't think you can get in the other shop. Yeah, I gotta fix that. It's really gonna just be even negative maybe. I wonder if it's worthwhile turning off the vine spawning. It's I guess it's not clear how much what part of this like loading time would be saved. It's still too close together. And oh my god, I double clicked, but it's fine because they were too close together. All right, one click. All right, I got hands off. Hands off until it's compiling to main. It's all good. I can expect it to reasonably accept my inputs. Okay, and then a single click. My mouse away, let it reload the domain again. Okay, yeah, I think there's now space to get in both shops. There's a tiny bit more. You're not gonna be able to walk up there. And this is like messing up the view here. Alright, last tweak, I promise. Go on to the next part of this after. Okay, now they have enough space. Yeah, that'll work. I can buy whatever item, test it out. Burning Charm. That doesn't seem right. Why is that a shield? I already found a problem. See if I can. That's obvious. Look at all those upgrades, god dang. Charm? Yeah, whoops. It just is set wrong. Right charm, man. That's easy to fix. And this kind of proves the point too, right? I get an array of like 80 items right in front of me. I notice a bug, I go fix the item bug, and then like normally I would have to like platform up to the shop. I mean, with all this completing domain time, how much time am I saving? It's like, that's what makes me think of always I think about like speeding, and then you see the person at a red light. You know what I mean? Like if I have to wait 20 seconds for the completed domain, does it matter that I save 5 seconds on platforming? See, there's Burning Charm right there. It has its sprite fixed. Um, so yeah, it looks like spawning the shops, giving me the money, all well and good. Kind of proved its point when I was able to immediately hop into a shop and verify I had fixed the small bug I noticed. But I also would like the ability here to swap between um, the use items. So think I just need a little helper function. Something like private void setup use item swap uh then like an input dot binding. Dang it. It would be in the use item, right? The use item manager. I always forget the syntax to set up like a input listener in code. But the active item manager will be listening. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay, so let's hop back here. What controls do I want? I was thinking at first just number keys to swap between them, but then what happens if I have more than 9, which I do plan to do? Maybe just tab? Well, tab is like a control key. That's probably a bad idea. Let's do minus and plus. Or I was just, yeah, the brackets, that works. Private input action. M switch active item left, right. Private void switch active item left. This needs a. This doesn't. Yeah, it needs a callback context. Put action callback context CB. All right, and then we can just copy this for. Right. Right. Oh, this function doesn't exist yet. Okay. So the active item manager lives on the player, I believe. So we shouldn't need any new objects. We should be able to just find the active item manager on the player and hook into that. I'm going to double check that's accurate though. Yeah, it's on the modifiers. It's just where the upgrades go and stuff. Okay, so we'll cache that. And player active item. But not a function. Get this in the beginning. This player get component in children. That component would be active item manager. And then it'll need some helper function. I guess we just need public int get current item index and set. And I'm going to add same sort of disclaimer here that this is really only meant for debug scenario. Called externally by specific or scenario. I guess every scenario is specific, which is what I mean. This should return nothing. now we have helper functions that let us mess with this. So lefts, we want to say like int current index equals player active item, get active item index, and then I guess we also need to know how to like wrap around at the when we reach the end, we need to know how many. We're gonna make a public static int k num. I switched to the pattern of having consts. It should be a const. I don't know why it's not. But having consts local to the function where they're relevant, but I will bump this up to the class level since other classes care about it. Active items equals 5. Time. Oh, this shouldn't be a k. This should be an s since it's static. And then we'll get rid of this. Can I do this? Yes. Not allowed to be? Fine. Here. Oh, right. We need current index. So new index is equal to current index minus 1 modulo active item manager dot s num active items. Actually, I changed my mind. This shouldn't be static. This should be const. Had it backwards. Right, that's allowed. Yeah. So yeah, switch to okay. That's the new index, and then we pass it to set. And we just copy this +1. It could have a common function, but what am I saving? 2 lines? Just thinking about, oh, right. I might need some reinitialize type stuff. I don't think the set is enough. Let me hop back over to my active item manager. Yeah, this enablement. This is called an update for some reason. So this doesn't need to be changed, but this is kind of dumb. Yeah, this set function needs to be a little bit more complicated where we will say active items at current index, it's disabled. I'm doing set active, got enabled. False. And then we update current item to I, after which we set new current item to. I mean, maybe this is clearer. I think this might be clearer. Okay. Then we need to actually call our new function. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've missed here. Let's find out. So, in addition to my grid of shops, my infinite money, I should be able to swap my active items by pressing the square braces. At least the script did not update. This did not seem to work. Why would that be? Let's investigate. We are calling, I did call the function for sure, right? I guess let's just add some simple debug printing to see if problem is in the index setting or if the problem is in the event like handling. All right, we're completing the demand. We're entering play mode. I'm gonna hit Q and E, or not Q and E. That's not what it is. It's the braces. It does seem as though nothing is happening. Okay. So that means it's not getting called, right? The only other possibility is that it's crashing, not saying anything. Some kind of silent failure. I don't think it's that. I think it would show the crash if it were getting called and then being crashed and not making it to the final debug call. Let's just double check real quick. Second. Oh my god, I double hit play. Now it won't take a second. I have to watch this loading bar. Yeah, so it's not a matter of crashing and like short circuiting the logic. Yeah, there is some problem. Wonder if this is a valid finding. I wonder if this is a reserved character. Let's try OP instead. I see square angle braces as a reserved character there, and it makes me wonder if square braces might be as well. And they might need to be escaped. And I mean I'm just not gonna escape them and switch to OP if that's okay. Now it is happening, but I immediately crashed the game. So that was the thing. Square brackets probably need to be erased in input bindings. Not erased. Did I say erased? Escaped is what I meant. Um, so we are calling our input binding, but in doing that somehow immediately crashed our here. Um, so in our input handler, when we did -1, it failed somehow. Because the index was out of bounds. I thought the modulo would handle that, but I guess not. I'll just add more logging. Going, setting from something to I. We're setting from M current item index to I, and we can get rid of this debug printing. All right, let's try that. So this will tell me what. I took a quick. I don't see any obvious problem. It's modulo, unless this is -1, perhaps. I can never remember what happens with negative modulos. Pretty sure they stayed negative, in which case wouldn't be happy about me indexing. Um, I get I get baited by that freaking double hit the play button often. Patient, I guess. 4 to 3 is fine, and it looks like it did work there. I switched to teal. I forget what teal is. The jump, yeah, it's the jump reset. And then I can switch down to the laser at number 2. There's the laser. Now we're switching down to the bomb. I think it is a negative. There's the bomb. Now we're on the debug. It just prints. And now we'll go negative. Yeah, and that's where it crashes. Okay. It should be current index. Mod index is current index -1. And then pre-mod index greater than 0. And it keeps its value. But if it's not greater than 0, or greater than equal to 0, if it's not greater, that means it's negative, and it should wrap around instead to this. And I don't even need the module here. This is the equivalent, right? It doesn't like it, probably for reasons. Oh, right, I need to do pre-mod index equals. I can just do new. So I don't need the modular. The modular is for wrapping around positively. This handles wrapping around negatively. Yeah, let's try that though. So we should be able to go down the line of active items from the debug one. Wrap back over to the time stop. And we should also text the other extreme while we're here. All right, so we're already at the final one, I think, the time stop. So I hit E, what happens? Nothing? Oh wait, it's not E, it's OP. P switches, goes to 0, and then I go back, goes back to the time stop. Looks like we are good here. The laser. There's cycling through our thing. We can probably delete the debug printing after this. All right, let's try quad jump really quick. 1, 2, 1, 2, E, 3, 4. Yeah, I gotta fix that jump. There's two things to look at with that force limiter code. Is the quad jump from this item, and also, and ledge grab. Why? I should have grabbed that ledge. That one I deserve not to grab. That one. I thought I made it more forgiving, but maybe I understood it in the all right, there we go. I thought maybe I understood it in the wrong direction and made it less forgiving. I'll have to double check that. I can write a note or I'll never remember to. Double check ledge grab. Doesn't seem more forgiving. You might have made it less forgiving. But yeah, all this stuff I wanted to work works. I can switch to whatever use item I want. I have this like base level of shops that are going to give me, if not all the items, almost all the items immediately. I'm never pressured by the death box. It's still sitting down there at the bottom. Good stuff. I think we can call this item test level a success here and cross it off the list. Okay. Definitely not going to be time to get to boss items, but we can at least set up another example of a um, test level to be a post-processing level. Um, so I think I can even just I want the ability to be able to see the post-processing planes directly, starters. And I also, I mean, let's start there. I want a set of debug controls that lets me look directly at my post-processing planes. So we're gonna go to scenes. We're gonna duplicate our item test level and rename this level test post-processing. Go to scripts and also make a script called level test post-processing. Script. For test level, create script, test level post-processing. I don't know why it didn't. Oh, there it is. So it's a test level base, and we're gonna grab some stuff out of items. So instead of 4 shops, I also want to add a function to spawn a rest area, because that's a bluey version of the effect. This is a place to start. It's just so easy to copy this function and change this to rest area. Let's head back over to our test level post processing. Instead of spawn shop here for the second one, we're going to spawn rest area. We only need a side area Y. This stuff we don't need. I'm going to comment it just in case I want to need it in a second if I don't need it. Okay. So what do we expect to see? Well, nothing, because we need to put our script on the build manager or the game state manager. Move test level items, add test level processing. There's a compiler we have to fix. What? I think I was just typing stuff at some point that incorrectly went. And this completing domain is just hurts my soul. But it did work. Well, it worked-ish. I think this is an internal Unity error. I don't trust it. So yeah, we have our bluey rest area effect and also our chop effect. Cool. Well, all right, right. I want to be able to visualize post-processing planes. So I'm gonna add like a similar set of debug controls for that. So we'll add the input actions. So it would be like show defaults action, and we have show background action, and show foreground action. And I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm missing my like floating cursor. Making it hard to know where I am. Disappearing cursor. And there's just like garbage. Control F12? You know what? Oh wait, it's back. Okay, it's related to F12, so I forced it back with F12. Alright. Oh, it's missing from this one specific file. Alright, I'm gonna reopen it then. There it is. Oh my god, fighting with my tools here. The mark of a champion. But see, sometimes it's good. It knows change this to. Wait. If I do this, it's gonna know? Guess not. I need one more of these. Round. On 3, I guess. And then we need the actual like callback function to do. So we have private void on show default action callback context CB on show background on show on show default on show background on show background. Okay, and then I think we should just have a private void modify or like toggle cameras full. We have bool main, bool background, bool for. And then in our setup here, we're gonna get our main camera. Default, input private camera main, camera background, camera foreground. So we get the main camera and then we can get the other ones because they're children. So it looks like we expect the background to come first, then the foreground. That's good. That matches with what we were doing. So we can actually just go camera.main.get components and children. Components, camera, and then bar cams, and cam 0, camera background, cams 1, camera foreground, cams 2. Okay. Then in our implementation function here, we can say camera main dot enabled equals main, right? Yeah. See, this it knows. It's doing a great job. I love that new autocomplete in Visual Studio 2022. When it gets it right, it's very impressive. Okay, here we just call that impl function. So on show default, we show all three. Maybe we should need a fourth value as well. Show main only. Another action here. 4. Show main action is what it should have been called. Okay. Now we just call this impl function. Oh, yeah. Default means show everything, and the other ones mean just show my thing. False. False. It's false, false, true. We need a fourth function. On show main only. True, false, false. And we add that here. All right, let's try it. In theory, we should have our special like initialization call here, which we can get rid of this. That gets our various cameras, saves them, such that when we press 1 through 4, we can view like just our post-processing, just our foreground, background, main and stuff. There have been times in the past few weeks when like I was curious about something and I'm like, wait, what is I see just the foreground camera and I have to go find it in the level hierarchy and like expand it and I'm like, oh, how is it being applied? Blah, 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 blah. Let's see what happens. All right, so if I hit 1, nothing happens except it crashed. What? Oh. Well, actually, no, I'm not sure at all how that crashed. Oh, I remember. There's this debug UI. Get out of here, debug UI. It's taken up the 1 binding. I am gonna make a note to reconcile debug UI from main level with new level test base system. But for now, we're just gonna comment it out. So yeah, I have this other debug UI that's also bound to 1. That shows like the player's height and stuff. It's stuff relevant to spawning the platforms on the main level and like enemies and stuff. I just commented it out for now because I hit 1, so that fired that, but it's missing some text that it wants to update. And I don't actually want the text in this level. That's one of the things that I would have removed in the first bit if I'd noticed it. When I was like reconciling all the artifact dependencies. All right, we're back. We turned off that key binding, but there's some other problem. I didn't turn it off enough. Let's just remove. It's probably on the world manager bug UI. Disable. This is still gonna crash on disable because the input doesn't exist. That would very much annoy me. Yes. Or no, that's something else. I don't know what that is. All right, we're in. Didn't crash, or at least it didn't crash in my stuff. 1 does nothing because that's default. 2 also does nothing. These keys do nothing. Why is that? Why the camera being toggled? No. We call the setup function. It might be that. I don't remember doing that. Yeah, I did not. Setup. Use. Oh, whoops. Not that. Setup. Show. Or I guess toggle camera controls. Okay, so now we actually call our function. We can expect the key bindings to do something. Domain for days. Maybe that's one of the things I'll work on this upcoming week is that reload protection so I can get rid of domain stuff. All right, we're in the game. Hit 2. We crash. Why is that? There is no main camera. I don't know if I'm going to be able to disable the main camera and get away with it. Let me try mode 4 that disables just the post-processing cameras. And maybe I can change their change the planes instead. Oh yeah, see. So I did just the main camera. All these post-processing effects stopped. That's why you have the glow of the dude here, but the actual object is over there. The sort of unglowed object. And you can see these ghosts of I hit 4 and it goes right back here. Interesting. Okay. Seems like we can't get away with messing with the main camera. But what we could do instead is rush the canvas front. Yeah. So let's go to our tests thing. What was it? Getting tired. I'm losing my efficacy. Just get this last little bit done. Okay. We're gonna cache the value. We're gonna have a locally, but we're gonna cache the value of the layers. Background cached layer. And for ground cached layer. And we don't need these anymore. We even don't need this anymore because we're just going to do camera.main. We're not going to really enable it anyway. Disable it. So to really be toggle effects layers in front, I guess. And instead of enabled, oh, we need to store something else. We need to store canvas. And background canvas. And foreground canvas. Let's go get those canvases. And background canvas. And foreground canvas. Canvases 0 and 1. We also want to say m background cache layer is equal to m background canvas dot layer order sorting order, and the same for for. Okay. Then here, instead of toggling enabledness, you're going to say sorting order if true, then we do the front one. We'll just say is like 100. Make a const. A front layer equals 150. In it. Okay, front layer else m cache background layer. Same thing for foreground. I don't really have a use for this mode. This would be false, false. Not telling it whether or not we should put that thing in front. Since camera kind of interesting to look at with that ghosting effect, but not especially useful. I really just wanna see front and center the post-processing cameras out. So hopefully that can be achieved here by bumping between sorting lane stuff. See what happens. 1, nothing. 2. Oh yeah, see it's in the wavefront. 3. See, there's not really that much difference because it already is in the wavefront. Maybe it is. Maybe I should disable the. So I changed it to be like. Guess I can just assert. Oops, I bounced over. Assert. We're gonna assert that that it are not equal. No, it can be false true. Is not is false, I guess. Background and I want you to pass background. Then I can say if background else if foreground this equals this. And then we're gonna disable the background canvas. And we invert this. I guess we have to enable it as well then, just in case it was previously disabled. Okay, and we reverse this background canvas. Okay, and in the else case, both go back to your normal layer. And actually, in this case, well, no, you don't. You're set to false. Same junk. It'll get fixed eventually. Here in the else case, we want them both on their normal layer. We want them both enabled. Okay. To get the slightly, like basically the overall goal of having a slightly cleaner picture of, oops, I switched my Unity. Sorry, I'm running out of steam at the end. Sure. Okay, 1, nothing. A 1, you're supposed to do nothing. Did you do something? 2, yeah, hides the foreground and emphasizes the background. 3, hides the background. Yeah, I guess these objects still exist, but the glow is hidden. And we can hop back to the normal mode. So yeah, you can kind of see the effect of things glowing and stuff. Oh wait, hold on. I'm not resetting my layer properly. I copy pasted wrong. Yep. I knew I was noticing something weird looking. See, this is the kind of mistake you make when you're tired. Can't even type foreground. We're gonna make sure that mistake is fixed and then probably call it. I guess we also need to hop back to the main level and make sure no options there. All right, 1, yeah, nothing happens as intended. 2, really cuts down the foreground glow and moves the background to the front. 3, cuts down the background glow. And 1, we're back to normal. Yeah, I think this could be useful in sort of like tweaking various post-processing planes and potentially getting an idea of whether or not artifacts are occurring as a result of the intersection between post-processing effects or if they happen in isolation. You don't really see it here on the black background, but I was seeing some banding artifacts in the main level, which I'm not sure whether or not that's a result of the intersection of effects or just a problem in the effect itself. So this is the kind of thing that I could answer in this level if I added the background. I'm not gonna do that right now because I see. But I think this was the core of it, being able to visualize post-processing. So I'm gonna call it done. So we did do at least like the test levels we had planned. I probably will do more test levels offline. but I did want to make a nice framework and have like establish a nice pattern where, okay, I want to have a test level that like has one specific thing, has some alteration X, Y, and Z. How do you do that? Can you just drop your prefabs in? At the beginning of tonight, the answer to that was no. Now, hopefully, the answer is yes. You can drop your prefabs in and write a tiny script that just inherits from a base class that is already taking care of getting the plumbing of everything you could possibly need, and just do whatever code. Yeah, you. All right, my short list for the future. Still don't really like the shop UI. I intend to sort of revamp it, and there needs to be a better use item UI. I'm just using circles right now. I think if I had to guess, these two things would be the two big things I'd look to tackle offline this upcoming week. Sound is pretty much unchanged since it was a game jam. Still relying on all those game jam sounds. So, uh-oh, I did break the main level. Let's see how. Oh, the debug UI junk. You can also be disabled here. You're gonna be deleted. Yeah, on thin ice debug UI, I might delete you this week. I have a better solution now. So yeah, I just sort of like vamping out the outro. Sound is the last major thing that is in really like super placeholder state. So sound is probably what I'm gonna focus on this upcoming week offline. I'm gonna work with my composer friend to test some Wise Aware tracks. My understanding is that I'm not too familiar. I'm going to learn about those advanced audio frameworks like Wise and Fmod this week. By default, I'm gonna do Wise unless I run into a problem with it. But stop chickens. Yeah, so I'm not too familiar, but my vague understanding is you can do things like place markers in the music, um, to make it like to make script sort of musicy things work better. Like as an example, so I just went into combo, right? I have this rainbow trail. I think the current plan of record is to write a little like sort of loop that can sit on top of the main music when you're in combo. Um, and you can't just do that by like doing audio source dot play, right? It's not going to sound correct most likely. Um, but if there are like special markers in the music that you say like, hey, this is where the sort of combo overlay and the main track, this is where they overlap. So like if the main track is 30% of the way through, you should start the combo track at 10% of the way through and then they'll be nicely synced. I think that's the point of like Wise and stuff like that, but I'm gonna learn this week. So yeah, sound and debug UI is the plan for the future. You can see here in my sort of milestone chart that sound is really the last thing that is really not started very much at all. Um, Actively, yeah, I mean, I went through this at the beginning, and visuals, I do a little bit of visuals every week, pretty much. So yeah, we actually are getting pretty close to this pre-alpha milestone. The main gameplay bits that are missing are sort of like the more deliberate meadow spawning, and I guess some items in terms of the boss upgrades. But really, I think it's these two things, the more deliberate meadow spawning and the representative player controller that are sort of the main things that have like large, like entire systems missing. Maybe I should, I feel like I want to bump this down to orange and just talking about it in real. Um, so yeah, these two things are sort of the gameplay bits that still need to be done. Maybe that's what I'll do next week. Maybe I'll do it offline. But a lot of my offline focus is going to be on audio here. So we'll see how much progress I can get there. Hopefully I can do the other bits. Yeah, sorry, I know both my like Twitch viewers and YouTube viewers potentially. I can imagine that setting up test levels and like a meta test level system is probably not the most engaging like streamable content. I feel like stuff like making new bosses, making new items is a better match for streaming, but I gotta if I want to get this done, I need to do the most important things first. And I felt like setting up those test levels is a pretty important part of reducing the cost of all these things, like everything basically. If I can test it more quickly, I can implement it more quickly, I'll have more efficiency over time. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Thanks for tuning in. Check me out on all the places: Quiet Bench Zen, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, itch.io. Have a bunch of games up on there, including a game jam version of this game that I'm making, the original that inspired this game. So check that out. And yeah, have a good night.